Hey guys, what's going on? It's Mike here, or Personal Growth Now, bringing us another fantastic video. I almost always want to crack up during that intro. It's so much fun to play around with it. Sometimes in the podcast I'll do it, sometimes I don't. But I know here on the actual camera, it's actually quite hilarious. But today's topic, enough of that. I'm actually in here drinking my green smoothie that I have just about every single day. Kale, apple, lime, lemon, all of this wonderful, fruits, veggies, things that we know that have been proven to promote our health and well-being. And that includes our physical health as well as our mental health, emotional health, spiritual health. Food is information. So definitely be eating those apples and the lemons. But guys, I actually had a conversation with a friend just a bit ago. We had been friends for many years, over a decade at this point in time. And one thing that is, that I have grown to know through all these different encounters with friends over the different periods of seasons in our lives, and I know he's going through a lot, and that's what happens as we go through different seasons in our life. And then sometimes we're more plugged into it during other seasons, and then other times we're kind of we're not so much into it, you know what I'm saying? And then life changes. And all these things are natural. We could easily get frustrated or worried if a certain friendship is starting to dwindle or if it's not the same as it was before. I am a firm believer, and I know this from firsthand experience, and you do too watching this, that we really do grow out of some situations. We grow out of certain environments that we no longer want to go to anymore. And then people are like, what are you doing? The people that you used to hang out with are like, what is he doing now? This is so different, because they're not used to you as you have grown into the person that you're growing spiritually and becoming the person, spiritually speaking. And everything changes, the physical manifestations change, and it can get overwhelming, right? And the whole point of this message and video, the wind was kind of blowing my hair earlier. I've actually been thinking about chopping all this off. I used to have a haircut that, none of this was there. So it was, and I'm thinking about going back. It's about time for a change. Not yet, maybe in the fall or something like that, 2021 fall, maybe. But guys, real video here. The main thing is that along your spiritual journey, some people won't understand you. They won't get it. They won't get some of the feelings, how you're acting, and a lot of them will get angry and they'll want an emotional reaction out of you. Happens all the time. Who is this person that I first met? Where is he now? Nobody can tell us where we take our own personal spiritual growth and our own personal development. Nobody can tell you that. Nobody can tell me that. And you have to be willing to stand strong in who you are. And this is what I've been learning over the last, 6 to 12 months or more. Specifically, I've been learning to really stand up for myself, to really stand in my own presence, to know what I'm doing and why I'm here and what I'm choosing to do with my life. And it can't be an unhealthy selfish pride, but it has to be a knowing. It's an inner spiritual knowing and inside of you. And it's the furthest thing from an ego trip. It really is just I gotta do this for myself. I remember in the movie, what was it, God's Not Dead, and the main character who had the debate at the very end, the guy, the man, not the teacher, not the professor, but the guy who was debating him, that was a prime example of what this can be like. And he was dating that girl in that movie, and the girl in the movie was like, you have to choose me or the debate. You become obsessed with this thing. You become obsessed with it. I'm gone. If you don't choose me over the debate, then I'm gone. And what did he do? he chose the debate because he had an inner calling. He knew his purpose. It was a divine purpose to debate that professor. Go watch the movie. Or you can even look up the trailer, probably showed in the trailer, or look up a scene on YouTube. But God's not dead, and I'm not advocating that movie. Watch it or don't. All I'm saying is that was a prime example upon other many prime examples of whenever people had to walk away, cut ties with certain people, old friends that didn't serve them, and you're walking into a new person. This is your new reality. You're going to leave behind people on your spiritual journey. And I had to reassure myself, because during that conversation, it would have been easy to question my own reality, to question my own belief, to gaslight myself. But that's what I'm saying, is that a lot of these past relationships have taught me very well. And they've actually been blessings in disguise, and I'm actually really happy for them, because they have taught me how to have boundaries. They have taught me how to stand up in myself and really say, no, I'm not okay with this treatment. I'm not okay with this topic. I'm not okay with this. You can go do that. I'm not going to judge. But when it comes to my presence, I know the environments that I'm going to put myself in. I know what I deserve. I'm going to chase after what I know is in my dream reality, and you can have yours. And I won't judge it, but I'm not going to stay here and entertain this foolishness. And a lot of people will hate you for that. A lot of people won't like that. But that's where I had to reassure myself. I'm like, I'm drinking green juice. like jokes aside, I'm drinking lemon. Like, it's what I have to do. Like, this is me. This is what I'm going to have to do. You know, if you want to go out party, if you want to go out, find some time, whatever. I'm not going to. That's your mission. That's your mission. If you feel like you need to do that, that's fine. And there's no judgment. The main point of this message is that there's going to be a lot of people who don't understand you. There's going to be a whole lot of people who do not conform to your spiritual path. And the people who are weeded out and who are left behind, it's for a reason. And you have to create that knowing, even if it's family, friends, whoever it is. If they're not meant to be part of this new spiritual path of mine that I'm walking, that's okay. Because by law, my friends, now this is where we get encouraging, you're going to attract new friends, new family, new circumstances. It happens every single time. It might not happen immediately, but every time that you leave something, that you leave one thing and the door closes, there's always more open doors towards your new pathway, the life that you chose. So in short, these relationships have taught me many valuable lessons, these past relationships, that, my friends, it's teaching us how to stand up in ourselves, how to have proper boundaries. It's actually a blessing in disguise. These toxic relationships really can be your greatest weapon. Back in 2012, whenever I first worked my first serious job, I was working at Walmart, and I really had to push myself because I wasn't used to the system that they were running there. And it was a lot of hard work, third shift. And I met a lot of cool friends, but I also met a lot of haters who knew that I came from a certain background and I had to make or break myself in those situations. And then I had managers that were coming down on me saying, you know, you really got to pick up the pace. And like, I would go back and I've gone back and thanked those managers for pushing me and for being very hard on me. Because see, at the time I could have thought, oh, this is toxic, I need to get out of here. But really, I look back and I'm like, thank you, because you were forcing me into what I wanted. You were the universe helping me achieve what I wanted to do, the path. So the universe is not out to get you. And I know it seems like that all the time. Is this happening to me, or is this happening for me? And I really just believe that the universe, deep down somewhere grit, it's like somewhere in the gritty of grit places, in the dark places, in the chasms, there are deeper meanings behind your purpose. And there really are. And there's a meaning for the struggle. But it's up to you to decipher what that means. We have been gifted an intellectual faculty, the perception. And the perception allows us to decide what things mean. Is this the end, or is this the beginning? And I've talked about it for probably 4 years now. Is this the end or the beginning? You decide the meaning. And yes, I'll say it in every video. It's much easier said than done. I can talk all the time on these videos. It's much easier said than done. Don't get it twisted. It's probably one of the hardest things that you'll ever have to do is stand up in yourself and really take it by the reins and say, if other people don't agree with this, I'm going to try my best not to judge, but I'm going to walk out my path and the universe is going to help me get there. So every setback, I really just do believe that there are set up moments in those setbacks. So definitely stay strong. I just remember feeling extremely persecuted at some of these jobs, including Walmart, which was actually my best job. It was actually the best job I'd ever had, believe it or not. But I actually took a break one night. I was working and I stumbled across some motivational videos and Eric Thomas. I was watching a lot of Eric Thomas at the time. And one thing I realized is that you create the meaning. Is this happening to me or for me? And that's what made the difference in people's lives. Is the universe working against me here, or is it actually using these things to transport me? Is the trouble transportation? As Joel Osteen says. I would highly suggest checking out his videos too. Very motivating. If you're not into it, that's okay too. Well, to make a long story short, during that break I had, and I was watching those motivating videos during those really hard times at work for myself, I came to the conclusion and I said, I'm going to get through this. And I actually became one of their best workers. And 3 managers actually commended me. Whenever I left the job, they actually commended me that we need more Michaels here. And I'm not kidding, guys. I became one of the best workers because I decided that this is either going to make or break me. And I decided that it's a real story. And I decided back in 2012, a long time ago, but I decided this is not going to break me. This is going to make me. And I hung in there. It was very challenging, a lot of resistance. But a few months later, I was recognized as one of their best, strongest workers. And I always take that with me today. That if the resistance is not looking good, and there's a lot coming up against you, it means that the universe is trying to transport you into a better situation. I just believe that. Now, if you don't buy into that, then that's your choice. But we decide by the use of our perception what things mean. That dictates the exact quality of our life. So you must decide the positive. You have to go positive. So guys, thanks for tuning in, checking out this video. I know it's a bit spontaneous, sporadic, but I felt very compelled to make this. Maybe it's going to speak to somebody, and I hope it does. Guys, I'm really praying for you. Thanks for everybody commenting and checking out and liking these videos. It means a lot to me, and we'll see you in the next one.